Do you ever feel like manifestation is just another thing on your to-do list that you don't have time for? Like your spiritual practice is something that you have to do? Honestly, you're not alone because I felt that way too. Something that's really changed my relationship with manifestation is blending it into my lifestyle so that no matter what I'm doing, I'm also manifesting. I call this manifestation as a lifestyle, and it's single handedly made the entire manifestation journey more enjoyable for me. And I've seen my desires show up with a lot more ease. Manifesting as a lifestyle has made manifestation go from feeling like a task to something I just naturally do because it's who I am. If you'd like to learn more about this, I've created a step-by-step guide for you. I'll link it in my show notes so you can check it out. You're listening to the Affirmation Addict podcast with Pyle Corley. This podcast will teach you about the power of affirmations while making manifestation easy and accessible for you in order to enhance your spiritual consciousness. Thank you so much for being here, and now it's time to get started. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Affirmation Addict podcast. My name is Pyle, and today we are doing a heart-to-heart. So this one is for you if you just feel like you're not good at manifestation. You feel like nothing is going your way, or you feel like that one thing just isn't happening. I just have some thoughts for you from the bottom of my heart because I know what that feels like. I know that frustration. I know you might be wondering, am I worthy of this? But if I wasn't worthy, then why would I even have the desire? All of that is so valid. How you're feeling is completely valid, and it's not unusual. So I hope that brings you a little bit of peace, that the things and the doubts that are going through your mind aren't crazy. You're not wrong. You're not wild. Manifestation is one of those tests and one of those journeys that really tests our tenacity. It tests our ability to move through something. It tests our ability to navigate discomfort, and it brings up a lot. I think when manifestation is first brought to the surface, we first hear about it, we're like, ooh, this is fun. People kind of call you crazily optimistic. And I don't think a lot of people understand the deep healing that goes through. And I want you to know, I get it. I know you're doing deep work. I know you are healing some of the deepest shadows that you've ever come across. I know that you are diving into the depths of your soul, and I commend you for it. Coming back to the fact that you think you might not be good at it, I want you to know that there's no such thing. There's no such thing as being a good or a bad manifester. That label doesn't exist. It's not real. It is completely self-imposed. If you look at the universe, if you look at how nature is set up, there's not one thing that's more or better or more beautiful than the other. All of that is human projection. As nature is, as the universe has created nature, it all just exists. And similarly, there's not one person or people who are better or worse at manifestation. It's just not true. That concept, that rating just doesn't exist. So please be gentle with yourself. And whenever you feel that thought where, am I actually good at this? Just remind yourself, I am a powerful manifester. Not good, not bad. You are powerful. And remind yourself of that, because I know what it feels like to be doing all your affirmations, doing all the rituals, putting everything into practice, and you still don't see a shift. What that really indicates to me when that happens is there is something deeper that I'm not addressing through my practice. I feel like I'm addressing it as I'm manifesting or working towards a specific goal, but ultimately there is something deeper. If my practice doesn't make me feel significantly better, then there is room for my practice, specifically my manifestation practice, to be more fulfilling, to feel more whole, to touch my soul on deeper depths than it ever has. And that's what I want you to try and do, is transmute this feeling of I'm not good enough or I'm not good at manifesting, and shift it into I'm amazing, I'm powerful, and I'm worthy of everything I desire. But I also feel so good just by doing my practice. Maybe how can you get to a point of feeling so good that searching, that lack, that doubt starts to melt away because it's so irrelevant? What can feel better than looking for your manifestation? How can you fuel yourself from the inside out? And for me, It is identifying the gaps that I'm feeling, the voids that I'm feeling from within. Sometimes it's self-doubt. Sometimes it's anxiety taking over. Sometimes it's fear of success or failure. Sometimes it's getting frustrated with people I love, family and friends. So those voids that are impacting my energy, if I can address those voids, manage those voids, then oftentimes I don't feel like my manifestation is missing because I feel fulfilled from the inside out. So I recommend trying to address the voids, address what's hurting you from the inside, and then work on your spiritual practice through that lens, rather than only approaching your spiritual practice as a means to an end to get a result, because ultimately it's probably not fulfilling you as deeply as it should, which is most likely why you're feeling this way. And so, to be super honest, super blunt, you might feel like you're not as good at manifesting because you're only focused on your manifestation and you think that your manifestation is going to bring you the happiness that you can't feel right now. But the true game of manifestation is how can you feel just as happy now with or without it? That's the magic. That's the missing piece. And the way to do that is playing with your spiritual practice, being playful with what affirmations are you saying? What meditations are you listening to? What journaling are you doing? What releasing work are you doing? What lights you up? What actually helps you feel better? Because when you can be intentional with all of those practices, and it's not only focused on receiving a result, those practices have deeper transformative effects. Those practices are going to make you feel better. Just most of the time, we only practice when we want a result. We don't practice for the sake of practice, for the sake of feeling good. We practice for the sake of receiving, and that's the key distinction. Hi, beautiful friend. I hope you're enjoying this episode. I wanted to hit pause for 15 seconds and share with you about my spiritual membership I created to help you raise your vibration and manifest with ease. I created Affirm It so you can have access to all, and I really mean all of the spiritual tools you need to step into your higher self and watch your dreams manifest with ease. If you're really ready to dive into your spirituality and connect with your highest self, I invite you to join the Affirm It membership. More details are in the show notes if you're interested. And now let's jump back in. So, what if you could practice for the sake of just feeling good rather than for the sake of manifestation? Because ultimately, I'm a full supporter of manifestation. That's my entire business. That's my purpose. But it's doing you a disservice if I encourage you to only focus on your manifestation. It's doing you a disservice if I tell you, if you want to manifest your soulmate or more money, only focus on that. That's limiting who you are as a person. That is closing down on your potential. And ultimately, you are way more complex than that. You are so much more than how much money you make or who your soulmate is. You are a deep, beautiful, conscious soul. And that is truly what manifestation is embracing that soul, being that soul, playing with that soul, who you are, and living from that energy rather than living from the energy that your manifestation is going to make you feel better or make you feel more worthy. That's a decision you get to make. And it is so scary to make that decision because we love, as humans, placing our power in everything else outside of us, when ultimately all of our power, and I mean all of it, comes from within. The love you feel, it is generated from within. That's the only way you can get it back. The worthiness, it has to come from within. That enoughness, all of it. It is who you are at your core. And really, the best way to understand manifestation is it's remembering who you are. It's remembering that divine, beautiful, light, happy being that you are at your core and giving yourself permission to feel that way. Even if your current reality doesn't logically tell you you should feel that way, even if logically you should be complaining about problems, you don't have to. You can go beyond. You can go against the grain that everybody is going on. You can be different, and you can embody this energy and the beautiful practice of manifestation that it is, rather than only looking at it as a means to an end, rather than using it or trying to manipulate it. Allow it to become who you are, become part of you, become an embodiment of you living out your truest, most authentic version of yourself. So If you still feel like you're not good at manifesting, you know what to do. Shift your intention, shift the approach in which you are handling and diving into the manifestation space, and make it more about you and how you feel rather than about what you're going to get on the 3D world. Truly, with manifestation, your results and your 3D world is just a byproduct. Ultimately, it's an emotional, vibrational game. You're trying to feel better. So prioritize that feeling, and your manifestations will come so much faster. It obviously has not worked in the way you wanted it to for whatever you're listening to this episode for. So give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? It can't get any worse according to the manifestation theory, right? So try this. Try just feeling a little bit better. Try diving into the emotions and the energy and doing it in your day-to-day life just because, not for that end result. And see how much peace you feel, see how good you feel, and notice how quickly your manifestations will start to flow your way. I love you. I hope this is helpful. And once again, you are not bad at manifesting. You are powerful. There's no such thing. You are so worthy of what you're calling in, and I love you. Mwah. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If this episode resonated with you, it would mean the world to me if you could rate and review the podcast and share it on your social media so I know to keep creating episodes that are inspiring you to manifest. I'm so genuinely grateful for the time we shared today, and I'd love for you to join the community by following @AffirmationAddict on Instagram. To continue diving into spirituality and manifestation, head over to my website, affirmation-addict.com. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love and so much healing energy.